Hi, Sustainable Development Goal 7, Affordable and Clean Energy, is about energy for all. Every day we use energy and electricity for heating, cooling, cooking, transportation and communication. We know that every year the demand for energy and electricity is increasing. At the same time, we also know that some of our main energy resources are coming to an end. There is an ongoing discussion about how to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. And we also know that a lot of people around our globe are still dependent on dirty fuel for cooking and heating. Therefore, it comes quite naturally that United Nations has paid special attention to energy and electricity supply. In year 2050, the General Assembly decided that energy and electricity should be one of the Sustainable Development Goals. For those of you who are interested to learn more about these goals, you can look into this document, which is a declaration from that meeting. I still prefer to look at this document where we can see how we have done during the last 2-3 years in terms of sustainable development. This report consists of 4 sections. In the first section, we can read what we have done good so far and where we have to do improvements. The second section explains that Sustainable Development Goal 7 has to be integrated with the other SDGs. In the third section, we can pay a notice to the fact that in different parts of the world there are different challenges when it comes to SDGs. And in the last section, we can see which are the areas for priorities when it comes to future development. My presentation today consists of 5 sections. First, I will look into the argument for SDGs 7 and the aim and goal. Then I will look into the current energy system, how it works, and what options we have in the future. In section 4, we are looking into potential and possibilities to integrate different energy resources, and I have invited a guest speaker for this section. Finally, I will look into future challenges. When we look into the argument for SDG 7, we can find at least 4. The first 2, 1 in 5 people still lack access to modern electricity, and the fact that 3 billion people rely on wood, coal, charcoal and animal waste for cooking and heating are primarily linked to the developing countries. The arguments 3 and 4, on the other hand, can be linked to the developed countries. For example, we know that energy is the dominant contribution to climate change and accounting for around 60% of total global greenhouse gas emission. And therefore, of course, we have to look into different potentials to reduce this greenhouse gas. Then, if we look at the aims and goals of Sustainable Development Goal 7, we can see that there are 5 of them. First of all, we have to ensure universal access to affordable, reliable and modern energy services. Secondly, we have to substantially increase the share of renewable energy. Third, we have to improve our energy efficiency. And fourth, improve cooperation on different levels, public, private level. And of course, we have to upgrade the technology, the goal number 5. If we then look at the current energy system and what the future might look like, we can see that we today have a centralized energy system, meaning that we have utilities we have transmission, we have distribution, and we have end users. At the left-hand side, we have utilities in terms of power plants, and then we have companies transmitting the energy, and then we have distribution, most often local energy companies. In the future, we might have something that we call microgrids. Microgrids are islanded systems, meaning that they can be disconnected from the main grid, utilities at the bottom. At the top we can see we have wind farms, we have solar systems, and these are directly connected to individual households, which we most often need some kind of technological devices so that they become smart. We also need battery capacities and operation systems that can handle all this automatically. These kind of microsystems are in the development process. When we're looking into smart microgrids and looking at research, we can conclude that there are certain components that has to go together. We have to have technology development, we have to have the legislation, and we have to have the consumers on the same track. In this constellation, we can see that there is an emergence new service systems, which is called energy as a service. And this is something that will be discussed in the future. If we want to make big leaps into reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, I think we have to look at the big players.